morning. Welcome to the Lionhearted Academy. This is Richard Time. This is our part 2, lesson 2 for trigonometry. Today we're going to start talking about angles. Well, in the last video we talked about what is trigonometry and why we need to learn trigonometry. So let's go ahead and get into the lesson trigonometry. Well, one of the first important thing we need to know about trigonometry is the measure of triangles. So in a triangle, well, we have several things we can measure. One of the things is it has 3 sides. The other thing is it has 3 angles. And so a side of the triangle is usually easier to understand. It's a line segment actually in geometric terms. But what is an angle? So today let's talk about an angle. What is an angle? And of course it's kind of easy to see what is angle when it's drawn, but a lot of times students will come, we ask the question, what is an angle? Students come up with 90 degrees or 180 degrees, and that is true. Those are related to the measure of the angle, but it's not really an angle itself. Okay? So, but angle is a very useful thing in geometry and trigonometry. And so let's take a look at this, because you can we have angles everywhere in our daily lives. Okay. Well, first of all, to have an angle, you have to have. Let's go ahead and start with a certain point here. Let's go that point O. Well, actually, we're gonna, and there's certain line segment coming off the angle. A line segment, actually this one, the one I just drew, is a ray. A ray starts as one endpoint, but it continues on indefinitely. So this could be either a line segment or a ray, doesn't matter. Okay, and so to form an angle, what we need to do is we have the same ray start from one position and rotate in a certain direction to create that space in between the 2 rays, and that is called angle. So from here to here we have created an angle, and what we usually call the starting position is called the initial side, and the terminal side, the ending position is called the terminal side. So this is your initial side right here, this is your terminal side here. When you rotate it with the end point, there was the same end point, and you have created an angle. And the origin at the point O here, in this case, we can actually call it the vertex of the angle. So we're covering the few vocabularies here. So an angle is very different than a line segment, because line segment, to create a line segment array, we have linear motion. This will come in later. Is when we create angle, we have a motion in rotation. And so how are we going to approach angles? This is going to be something that we will be always talking about in this topic. All right. So some of the primary vocabularies you need to know definitely is the vertex of the angle, the initial side and the terminal side, and the angle is that space that created by rotation there. It's not exactly the space, but it's created by that rotation. So you can rotate a line segment, or you can rotate a ray. Now, in geometry, usually we don't have coordinate plane that we associate with, but in trigonometry here we have things that we have to put things in coordinate planes all the time. And so let's take a look at a coordinate plane here. Okay, and if you just to review, the horizontal axis is at the x-axis, the vertical axis is the y-axis. Okay, and when we put an angle onto a coordinate plane, we have some references now, and so there's something called the standard position of an angle. Standard position. When you put the angle in standard position, the vertex is always at the origin. The origin being the intersection of the x-axis and the y-axis. And the initial side should always be on, let me use blue here, the initial side should always be on the x-axis. So then you can have, okay, I'm trying to put the ray on the starting position or the line segment on the position. So from here you can rotate counterclockwise to create any angle you want, and that angle's measurement will be in a positive measurement when you rotate counterclockwise. Or if you go ahead and start from the initial side, you rotate clockwise, and in our order systems this will be a negative angle. It will be a negative angle. So really, you can put the angle anywhere you want, you can put the rotation anywhere you want, but depending on the rotation, the direction of the rotation, it will be a different angle. So for example, if I rotate, okay, go ahead. If I rotate counterclockwise, this angle should have been a positive angle. However, if I rotate it clockwise, if I rotate it from here to here using following the red arrow, you can see that angle will have a negative measurement, even though both of them has the same, they end up at the same side, which is called the terminal side. Okay, so again, let's go ahead and write this. This is the initial side. In a standard position, the angle, the vertex will always be on the origin. The initial side will always be on the positive x-axis, and this side, it could be anywhere, but this is called the terminal side. So the terminal side is anywhere on the order plane, depending on your rotation. And so a positive angle, let's go ahead and use, will have a counterclockwise rotation. Now when I mean counterclockwise rotation, it means you go from this direction, okay, counterclockwise, from the positive x-axis going to the positive y, going to the negative x-axis, going down to the negative y, and coming back. That's counterclockwise. A negative angle will have a clockwise rotation. Clockwise rotation is going in this direction. So you go from positive, I should say going this direction, okay? Going from positive x, you go down to negative y, go to negative x, then come up to positive y, and then come back to positive x. So going this direction is clockwise. That will be measured in negative angle. And these two angles, the blue and the blue and the red, they happen to be called coterminal angles. Now, why are they called coterminal angles? Because they share the same terminal side. So let me write this right here: coterminal angles. Alright. I usually use as shorthand symbolism. Like for example, if I draw something like that, that means an angle. So coterminal angles means angles that have the same terminal side. So let me go ahead, pull down a little bit. Alright, let me draw another illustration for you to show you the coterminal angle. Okay. So let's draw the coordinate plane one more time. Okay, again, this is the positive x-axis, this is the positive y-axis. Okay, x-axis going this way, y-axis going up this way. Okay, origin is in the middle, the origin. So let's say we have an angle here. Alright, so from this side, if I rotate somewhere and I stop, okay, 1, 2, 3, and stop here, Okay. By the way, I haven't mentioned anything about the quadrant yet. So this angle right now is in the third quadrant. Okay. So as you can see, let's just do a brief review of the quadrants. This corner is quadrant 1, this corner is quadrant 2, this corner is quadrant 3. We're using Roman numerals, and this one is quadrant 4. Okay, so right now this angle, okay, let's go with a name. Usually when we name angles, we usually use Greek alphabet. Theta is a very common alphabet, theta. So this is called theta. Okay, it's a Greek alphabet, theta. So angle theta has a terminal sign in third quadrant. Now, if I start from the initial sign, okay, if I start from the initial sign and then I rotate and I stop at the same terminal sign, okay, if I call this guy beta, okay, so angle beta and angle theta, they have the same terminal sign, they all rotate, they all start from the initial side at the x-axis, possibly x-axis here, and then theta I rotate clockwise, counterclockwise, excuse me, to this side, and then beta I rotate clockwise to this side. So both of them they're coterminal angles because they have the same terminal side. They share the same terminal side. And as you can see, I can have a number of angles that are coterminal angles. It can be more just than one coming from a clockwise direction, one coming from a counterclockwise direction. I could have rotated several rotations and then stop at the same place. So later on we're going to be talking about that as well. Okay, so let me show you an example. So if I have another angle, if I go ahead and rotate like this is one rotation, two rotation, three rotation, and then I stop at the same place as this. It will be different than theta because I would have rotated 3 extra rotations. So if I use a green arrow, let's see, if I rotate 1, 2, 3 and come back here, that angle, let's call that alpha, okay, it will be a different angle than theta, it will be a different angle than beta, but it will have the same terminal sign as theta and beta. So that's the coterminal angle. Alright, so today this is the part 1 of angle. Let's go ahead, stop right here. We're going to continue next lesson. Well, please leave any questions or comments in the comment sections, and then we hope to see you next time to join us in the next video lesson of trigonometry. Thank you.